Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we're going to move on with that joy journal today. And I've got several envelopes that we can fold and some pockets and things that I'm going to put together. So come along with me and we will get this thing going. Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and I'm going to go ahead and put some pockets and things on today in the joy journal. So this is the page I'm going to use. I've cut it out, except for, I always do this so I can keep the pieces together. I cut everything but those last little pieces. This was the seal for that last folio we made. So I'm just going to finish cutting this out. Okay, so here it is cut out. So now I'm going to ink the edges. I think I'm just going to use vintage photo, I think. I could use some purple. You could use purple if you wanted to. But I think I'll just go ahead with the vintage photo. Okay. So that's pretty simple. I'm going to use the Barely Art glue, and this is really simple. You just glue these here, and this you glue in a T across the bottom and up the middle. So I'm going to put and then just put it about up here, and you want it to be square with the bottom as much as you can. And then you just put the corner pieces in the corners. And this one I think looks cute stitched. So I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and stitch it after I get this glued. So I mean, if you're going to do that, you really wouldn't have to glue it, but it does kind of help hold it in place. And then I looked for a page in my journal, and I couldn't find a page that I wanted to get rid of, you know, cover up with this. So I took some brown paper and created an extra page. So I'll show you what I mean. So like here, because when I did the jelly printing, I used some purple, and so I thought it would look really pretty next to that. So I just cut a piece of brown paper out, and so I'm just going to glue it in to the journal like that. So it'll be next to this one. So I'll go over, and I'm trying to decide if I want to stitch it and then glue it in. I think I do, because that way I don't need those stitches to be in the brown paper. So I'll just do that. I'll just go stitch it real quick. Okay, so here it is, stitched and glued into the page. So there's the stitching around the edges. So that's that. And then we also have a 3-layer pocket that takes up the page. So I've got 3 signatures kind of broken up, and I've got the 3 flat folio in one. I put that one I just did in this one, and so I'm looking for a place in the third one, just so they all sort of have something. And this one has a brown page in it, and so I'm going to glue it in here. And so this is made to overlap each other like this. You can kind of adjust it. I mean, it could go as far as like all the way up if you wanted it to. I kind of like it when the pocket overlaps here, like when this middle one overlaps this just a little bit. And this one overlaps that just a little bit. But that's just me. So I'm going to distress ink these, and I'm going to use some color on these. I think I'm going to use this worn lipstick. And then I will use the vintage photo too, of course. But oh, that was not smart. Okay. And I'm just going to hit the edges just a little bit. Kind of rub it over the letters and words a little bit. And oh, and I want it on this one too, I think, too, just to play up the pink just a little bit. Of course, the only thing that will show, now that I think about it, is the edges. So, all right. So you'll start with the top one, glue it in. So figure out how you want it. Stay as far away from the fold as you can. It's not going to give you a whole lot of room, but it'll give you a little bit of room. So kind of want it like that. And I want that one there. So I'm leaving that much space at the top. So I'm going to glue this one in first. So just put the glue on the 3 sides. Come down about where you want it. And then this one. And then I know I want that to overlap up here just a little bit. That's my Boston Terrier. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot the Distress Ink, the vintage photo. All right then. So, you know, what you can do is just put a piece of paper, just kind of hit it like that. And I just kind of want it here and there since I've got the pink, but I did want it on the edge. Okay, and then I'll do it over here. A little bit heavier. And then, let's see, this one, since I have it free, I'll go ahead and do it. Heavier on the bottom because it's on the bottom edge of the page, and it will show. Okay. And then, now I'm ready to glue it. Okay. All right, so there's that. And we also have several little envelopes. So I'm going to do those. There's these little ones. And they're pretty straightforward, but I kind of want to add color ink on these too, just to spice them up a little bit. So fold these in. Actually, I want to ink those first. So let's see. I need purple. Purple and blue. Wilted violet, I think. It's a little extreme. Hopefully I don't get too heavy-handed with it. I just want a little bit of purple. I have the milled lavender, which would also work, but it's almost exactly the same color as this envelope, so I don't think it would even show, probably. So I'm just gonna just hit those edges a little bit. Okay. And then I want the chipped sapphire, I think, I think that's what I'll use. I don't have a whole lot of blues. I mean, I've got that tumbled glass. I'm going to try this one, see what it looks like. And then you'll know whether you should use that one or not. Let's see. Yeah, it's not too bad. You don't get too heavy with it. And honestly, I don't think I'm even going to use the vintage photo. I kind of like the blue on that. And then green. Looks like, I think I'll use the shabby shutters on that. I've got a big one on that one. I only have little ones on most of them, and that's been plenty. But I do like the shabby shutters, so I got a bigger one. Bigger ink pad on that. That's actually a little bit more sage green than the shabby shutters, but I think it's okay. I think it'll be all right. Of it on there, it'll turn it that color too, so. Okay. And I wonder where that fourth one went. That's the game we play, isn't it? Hide and seek. Okay, and then the little card. Okay, well, I managed to find 3 and 3. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I only have 3 and 3. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at the kit. But I'm going to do a little bit of the vintage photo on these. I've been reading C.S. Lewis's Surprised by Joy. Joy being the operative word here. Since I'm working on this journal, it's kind of at the top of my mind. And he's kind of saying what we've kind of talked about in the group on Facebook. By the way, if you want to be in the group on Facebook, it's called Jesus Junk Journal Creators. So come on over and join the group. And, you know, we were talking about how you're supposed to have joy no matter what. You don't wait for some wonderful thing to happen, and that burst of feeling that you get that you think is joy is not really what God's talking about with joy. And that joy comes from God, and we have it when we're Christians. We should have it just all the time. It's a fruit of the Spirit. And, you know, Smith Wigglesworth talked about, like, I don't ask my feelings how I feel. I tell them how I feel, and I tell myself to have joy, kind of like, and no matter what happens, we should have joy just because of everything that God's done for us and that we trust Him to take care of things. So anyway, that's kind of why I went ahead and made this journal right now, because, you know, right now, if you go by just emotion in the world, I don't feel really happy and joyful and excited, but I do have the joy of the Lord. I'm just happy when I think about that I don't have to worry. He's overcome this world. I don't need to worry about it. So I'm just gluing it here and here. Same on all of these. Push in the sides and just put a little bit of glue on the 2 corners. Oops, come on now. Push in the 2 sides. Put a little bit of glue at the bottom. And fold it up. And I didn't ink it on the back, so I'm just going to add a little bit of vintage photo on the inside of the flap, I think, on these. And then these little messages just slide in. And you can either, I mean, you could use some washi tape if you wanted to seal them, or you could just leave them open. And where is, there it is. Oh boy. All right, so there's those little envelopes. And then I have this pocket that I didn't want to forget about. And so let me get the green out. And I think I'm going to hit it with, actually, I think I'll try Lucky Clover. No, I'm going to do Cracked Pistachio. Sorry. You could even do a Mermaid Lagoon, like a turquoise on here. It would be pretty. It's kind of like a little bit of a contrasting color. In fact, I might do Cracked Pistachio on the bottom. Just a little bit. And then do the Mermaid Blue on the top half. And this is a double pocket that goes on a double page to make 2 pockets. And so let me pull out this Mermaid Lagoon. See how this looks. You can decide for yourself after I do it. And I'm just trying not to use a whole lot, but yeah, that looks pretty good. Put a little bit more over here. Oop, a little bit more over here. All right. So we'll find a page to put that on. Let's see, what do we have? See anything in that signature that I would do it on. I mean, I could do it on that. Yeah, I think I'll do it on that. So I'm just gonna glue it in 3 sides and leave the middle, because when I bind the journal, that'll be the edge on the middle side. Edge on the middle side? Well, you know what I mean. Okay, so okay, and then you can trim it. It looks like it's going to need trimming just a little bit. And that looks like I even cut maybe where the glue was. So I'm going to put glue right here. I took a pair of scissors. I saw somebody online take a pair of scissors to rough up the edges of their pages. And of course, the first thing I did was cut my page. So I need to either practice or quit it. So, and I'm going to take some vintage photo and put on that edge. Just a little bit on the outside edges here and there. So when it's bound, it'll be sealed off there and create your pocket. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, so there's that pocket. And then we have a corner pocket that is made to go, you can put it however you want. I mean, I was thinking it would go at this in this bottom corner. It'll be upside down if you're trying to make it readable, or you could put it up in this corner and make it readable. So it's just up to you where you think you might want it. I think I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to distress ink it. I didn't take long to pick the page, did I? But I think these brown pages need something to kind of civilize them. Okay, so I'm just gonna just a boring old corner pocket, huh? That's all right. And then what else did I have? Oh, yeah. So then we also have these two envelopes. So I can fold those up. These are both light blue, so you could either use chipped sapphire. Well, you probably have different ones even, because there's so many different inks. So one of the blues. I think I'm going to try the tumbled glass. It's a little lighter blue. Somehow I managed to get purple on there. And see if that it's a little more subtle than the chipped sapphire. Since these are larger, I don't want to make them too garish. I just ordered some art glitter glue, a new one, and you know, everybody was saying online, like, don't buy it when it's freezing out, because if it freezes, it won't be any good. So I thought I had waited long enough, but I just had a friend who opened hers, and it was just a big solid chunk. So I think I need to open mine up. I wasn't going to open it till I was out of the other glue, but I'm going to open it up and check it, because I need to make sure while I can still return it if it's messed up. Okay, so try this. Looks like I mixed my green on this one. Nothing new about that. So this is tumbled glass. Ooh, it's turquoisey. It might just be me though, because like I said, I mixed my inks. Okay, this edge. Okay, so that's okay. Not too bad. Might as well do this one too while I have it out. Now, I don't know if I want to hit this with vintage photo. Oh, let's see. Maybe I do. Try it on the little one first. Well, what am I doing? I'm hitting the lid. That's not giving me any ink. I do kind of like it when you mix two different distress ink colors. It gives it a depth, I think. I'm going to just hit it here and there. So, okay, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and hit this one too. I kind of like it. Okay, that makes me happy. Now, you do whatever you need to do to make you happy. Okay, then on this one, same kind of a deal. We push the inside flaps in, put a little bit of glue, and that's it. Now, we could have done a bunch of things to the inside because it is white. I think I'm just going to use some Distress ink. This is a coin envelope, sorry. So it's going to glue a little bit differently. You'll glue the two flaps this way. And then this glues up. I'm sorry. I think it's like this. Yeah, this is the bottom flap. So you'll glue this one, the smaller flap. And then this is the top flap. But I think I'm just going to use some Distress ink and do that. Now you could also cut a piece of paper to line it with. On this larger one, I might do that. Let me find some paper that I like here real quick. All right, here's a piece of scrap paper I have. So I'm going to just cut. I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller so it goes in easy. So that's why I'm running this over just a hair so it'll fit in nice and easy. Square it up at the bottom and run. Pencil line around it. That's going to make it, that actually is going to make it off just slightly on the flap. So I'm not going to cut that flap. I'm going to cut it across, put it in, and then cut the flap. Like that. And actually, I think what I'll do is just go ahead and glue it. Doesn't take much, really. I'm just going to put a little bit to tack it in there. Glue that down. And then I'm just going to cut it. There'll be a little bit of a white flesh, but not too bad. Okay, and then this isn't glued, so, well, I take that back. It kind of felt like it was glued. I'm going to glue it up here at the edge more. That's where it'll be noticeable. And then I'm going to take, I think the cracked pistachio, and hit this white edge over here, just so it's not quite as stand out as much. And then I'll hit it with the vintage photo, and that'll help it disappear also. And I'm going to fold this backwards because I want that crease to show with some of this vintage photo ink. Like that, and then fold it back. There. Okay, so that is that. And that one. All right. So I think that's it for this session, and we'll come back maybe and work on the tags. Oh, hit the like button if you like the video. Click subscribe if you like to watch my videos, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.